Intermittent fasting promises better health and longer life. But does it work? New study finds no benefit to time-restricted eating. In this video, we'll talk about this, so make sure to watch till the end. The obesity epidemic has spawned a cottage industry of weight loss schemes. Currently in vogue is intermittent fasting, which involves alternating intervals of extreme calorie reduction with periods of normal eating. Proponents of an intermittent fasting regimen claim that it helps shed pounds faster than traditional diets, as well as reduce inflammation and other heart disease risks. What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting, also known as intermittent energy restriction, is any of various meal timing schedules that cycle between voluntary fasting and non-fasting over a given period. Methods of intermittent fasting include alternate day fasting, periodic fasting, and daily time-restricted feeding. One pattern that has become a bit popular is the so-called 5-2 diet, says Dr. Frank Hu, chair of the Department of Nutrition at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. With this system, you eat normally for 5 days of the week, but restrict food intake to just 500 to 600 calories on the 2 fasting days. Another variation of intermittent fasting calls for alternate fast days, in which you consume a quarter or less of your basic calorie requirement, with feast days during which you eat whatever you choose. What are the potential benefits of intermittent fasting? It can help you lose weight and visceral fat. According to a 2014 review of the scientific literature, intermittent fasting can cause weight loss of 3 to 8% over 3 to 24 weeks. The study participants also lost 4 to 7% of their waist circumference over 6 to 24 weeks, which indicates that they lost lots of visceral fat. Visceral fat is the harmful fat in the abdominal cavity that causes disease. Can reduce insulin resistance, lowering your risk for type 2 diabetes. In human studies on intermittent fasting, fasting blood sugar has been reduced by 3 to 6% over the course of 8 to 12 weeks in people with prediabetes. Fasting insulin has been reduced by 20 to 31%. Can reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Several studies from 2019 and 2020 show that intermittent fasting may enhance the body's resistance to oxidative stress. Additionally, studies show that intermittent fasting can help fight inflammation, another key driver of many common diseases. May be beneficial for heart health. Intermittent fasting has been shown to improve numerous different risk factors, including blood sugar levels, blood pressure, blood triglycerides, total and LDL, bad cholesterol, inflammatory markers. However, these studies are based on animal studies. Induces various cellular repair processes. When we fast, the cells in the body initiate a cellular process called autophagy. Increased autophagy may provide protection against several diseases, including cancer and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. May help prevent cancer. Intermittent fasting has been shown to help prevent cancer in animal studies and some human studies. Research in humans showed that it can help reduce side effects caused by chemotherapy. Has benefits for your brain. Intermittent fasting may have important benefits for brain health. It may increase growth of new neurons and protect the brain from damage. May help prevent Alzheimer's disease. Studies in animals suggest that intermittent fasting may be protective against neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. May extend your lifespan, helping you live longer. One of the most exciting applications of intermittent fasting may be its ability to extend lifespan. Studies in animals have shown that intermittent fasting extends lifespan in a similar way as continuous calorie restriction. Although this is far from being determined in humans, intermittent fasting has become very popular among the anti-aging crowd. What are the potential pitfalls of intermittent fasting? A notable aspect of this trial was a very high dropout rate, 38%, among the people assigned to the fasting regimen. This may reflect a real-life pitfall of fasting as a weight loss approach. It's human nature for people to want to reward themselves after doing very hard work, such as exercise or fasting for a long period of time. So there is a danger of indulging in unhealthy dietary habits on non-fasting days, says Dr. Hu. In addition, there's a strong biological push to overeat following fasting periods. Your appetite hormones and hunger center in your brain go into overdrive when you are deprived of food. But intermittent fasting may have a beneficial effect on diet psychology for some people, says Kathy McManus, director of the Department of Nutrition at Harvard-affiliated Brigham and Women's Hospital. One of my patients felt strongly that he didn't want to be bothered with tracking calories and filling out food records. Instead, he opted for a 5-2 fasting approach, which has worked well for him so far. The main goal is to develop a healthy eating pattern that is sustainable and can support weight loss over time, McManus says. As of now, intermittent dieting has not been proved to meet this key criterion. Some commercial companies have started marketing packaged meal plans designed specifically for intermittent fasting. While this may make the process easier for some people, these products tend to be expensive, around $300 for a week's worth of food. Part of the fascination with intermittent fasting arises from research with animals showing that fasting may reduce cancer risk and slow aging. One hypothesis is that fasting can activate cellular mechanisms that help boost immune function and reduce inflammation associated with chronic disease, says Dr. Hu. While it's true that getting rid of excess body fat will improve a person's metabolic profile and lower cardiovascular risk, he says, there's no strong evidence that fasting adds health benefits beyond any other weight loss strategy. What about the newest 2022 study? A rigorous one-year study in which people followed a low-calorie diet between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. or consumed the same number of calories anytime during the day has failed to find an effect. The bottom line, said Dr. Ethan Weiss, a diet researcher at the University of California, San Francisco, there is no benefit to eating in a narrow window. The study, published on Wednesday in the New England Journal of Medicine, was led by researchers at Southern Medical University in Guangzhou, China, and included 139 people with obesity. Women ate 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day, and men consumed 1,500 to 1,800 calories daily. To ensure compliance, participants were required to photograph every bit of food they ate and to keep food diaries. Both groups lost weight, an average of about 14 to 18 pounds, but there was no significant difference in the amounts of weight lost with either diet strategy. There also were no significant differences between the groups in measures of waist circumference, body fat, and lean body mass. The scientists also found no difference in such risk factors as blood glucose levels, sensitivity to insulin, blood lipids, or blood pressure. These results indicate that caloric intake restriction explained most of the beneficial effects seen with the time-restricted eating regimen, Dr. Weiss and his colleagues concluded. The new study is not the first to test time-restricted eating, but previous studies often were smaller, of shorter duration, and without control groups. That research tended to conclude that people lost weight by eating only during a limited period of time during the day. Dr. Weiss himself used to be a true believer in time-restricted eating and said that for 7 years he had only eaten between noon and 8 p.m. In an interview, he recalled he could hardly believe the results. He asked the statisticians to analyze the data 4 times until they told him further work wouldn't change the results. So should you still try intermittent fasting? Weight loss experts said time-restricted diets are unlikely to go away. We don't have a clear answer yet about whether the strategy helps people lose weight, said Courtney Peterson, a researcher at the University of Alabama at Birmingham who studies time-restricted eating. She suspects the diet might benefit people by limiting the number of calories they have an opportunity to consume each day. We just need to do larger studies, Dr. Peterson said. Dr. Louis J. Aron, director of the Comprehensive Weight Control Center at Weill Cornell Medicine in New York, said that, in his experience, some people who have trouble with calorie-counting diets do better if they are told simply to eat only during a limited period of time each day. While that approach hasn't been shown to be better, it doesn't appear to be worse than calorie counting, he said. It gives patients more options for success. She said she would still recommend time-restricted eating to patients, even though we don't have proof. For Dr. Weiss, he said he was persuaded by his own study and said the new data reinforced his conviction that time-restricted eating offers no benefit. I started eating breakfast, he said. My family says I'm a lot nicer. But what do you think? Which one of these tips do you find the best? Make sure to share your opinion in the comment section. We hope you enjoyed our video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our content in the future. Until then, we'll see you in the following video.